Hello, everybody. Welcome to CSU Pueblo Extended Studies Podcast. This is Wolf Tracks. I'm Gary Salazar. I'm the Associate Dean here at Adult Learning at the Division of Extended Studies. And this is a 20-minute conversation about the amazing programs, some great people and projects that we get to work with here. We were trying to highlight and elevate different areas of our people, to create educational opportunities. We want to foster collaborations and help our communities and all the people who are out there, you, including us, to become better. So we record and post these on our YouTube channel. We also throw them into our social media and marketing. We want to get the word out. And I'm so excited and happy that today we have joining us is Dr. Lisa Persons from CSU Pueblo School of Nursing, where she is, you gotta get me right on this, Lisa. She is the assistant professor and serves as the current interim undergraduate program coordinator. Am I right on that one?
That is correct, yes.
Excellent. Well, welcome, Lisa. We are in spring 2024 semester, and it's been a busy start for me. I'm sure it has been for you too. So thank you so much for taking the time from your schedule to join our podcast. Typically, we begin by just asking our guests to say a little bit about themselves, maybe their background, and then what their role is at the school. So if we could begin with that, can you talk a little bit about yourself?
You bet. So my name is Lisa Persons, and I have been a registered nurse since 1998. So going on 26 years now, I've been in nursing. I worked primarily in the obstetrical field of nursing, but also did some medical, surgical type nursing and some community health. I came to CSU Pueblo in 2013 to get my master's degree in nursing education and was hired when I graduated in 2015. Okay. So I've been here now going on 9 years. So I am an alumni, both for my master's, and then I just recently in 2022 also got my doctorate degree from CSU Pueblo. So not only do I work here, but I am an alumni. I know the quality of the program, and I believe in the program. And like you said, I was just recently asked to step into the interim undergrad program coordinator position. So that is what I'm currently doing, and I'm loving that as well. I've loved everything I've done here.
Awesome. That is so cool. And it's really neat to know that, if somebody who's steering the program, who's got all that experience, plus you're from here, so you bring a lot of history of understanding the changes, what's going on, which is so awesome in the people who are leading these programs, because they know where it needs to go and what needs to be done. Thank you for that. And more broadly, can you tell us a little bit about the School of Nursing? Kind of what is that doing? What's its program mission for CSU Pueblo and our southern region in Colorado?
So the School of Nursing, it is one of 2 schools on campus that is an independent school. We have both undergraduate and graduate programs, as well as our RN to BSN program, which happens through extended studies. So we have a lot of options there. The mission, and I did get out my cheater card. We just went through accreditation. So the mission says to prepare graduates for professional positions as safe, competent, and caring nurses to meet the healthcare needs of diverse populations. So that really aligns with what CSU Pueblo's mission is, which is to recruit and retain students from Southern Colorado and really all of Colorado and nationwide, if we can, to become excellent nurses. And that's what we do. We produce excellent nurses and excellent graduate nurses who then go back out and serve our community. So that's really what we are passionate about.
Yeah, that's awesome. And it goes really back to this university wanted to be the people's university. So it's an important plank that you're serving for that too. Thank you, Lisa. As you've looked at the program and as you've grown in this yourself, I mean, is there a good need for nurses here in our area and more broadly across the state or the nation? What are you seeing?
So what we're seeing, there are some trends nationwide that there is a very big shortage of nursing. There's actually a shortage of applications to bachelor's degree in general, and that includes into nursing. But nursing has always been one of those professions where the need goes up and down. And right now, with a lot of our baby boomers needing care and not as many people completing healthcare programs, there is a very big shortage. And that's across the country.
Yeah, well, thank you for the advocating for me. I love that. I'm going to need those nurses before I know it, and appreciate that. And not only that, but in the little experience that I have had to work with a medical center or with nursing and staff there, the nurses really seem to carry the bulk of the load. They do so much. And they are the ones that in my mind help make the things work and bring that care to the people who need it. So thank you for that. Really appreciate it. All right, now we're talking about nursing. We're talking about CSU Pueblo and a broad level of what the need is. But is there, if I'm a student, what would I be learning if I were to come into your programs here? What could I expect to learn and see as a student working underneath what you've gone through and have helped develop?
So our program, we are accredited, and the accreditation drives, what has to be in those curriculums. So you'll find some standard things that are in every nursing program, but we really prepare our students clinically. The hours that they are out in the community at different facilities, they are going to get medical surgical experience. They're going to get experience in the long-term care facilities or nursing homes to help with the geriatric population. They get obstetrical experience at our local hospitals, where they get to see labor and delivery. They get to go into the nursery. They get to go to Children's Hospital and neonatal intensive care. And so we have those collaborations with all of the surrounding facilities, not just in Pueblo, but also in Canyon City and Colorado Springs, to ensure that our students get the very best clinical experiences. We are fortunate here in Pueblo to be the home of the Colorado Mental Health Institution, which is also known as the State Hospital. So our students also get to experience behavioral health and mental health rotations at the State Hospital. And then we do, a lot of float offs. They get to go to the emergency room. They get to go to the ICU. They get to go to multiple hospitals. So it's not just the curriculum and the classes that we offer, but this really big depth of clinical experiences, where I'm told routinely by our graduates that they were much more prepared and knew a whole lot more than everyone else in their residency programs or their new orientations. And that's even students that go out of Colorado across the nation. They feel very confident that they were prepared.
Now, that's an awesome thing to hear. But can I go back a second? I want to understand better as a neophyte in this. When you bring students into your programs, they're not just going to classes, they have lab or clinical, what you call clinical experiences, which means they are actually going to a local or other hospital. Is that correct?
Correct. Yes. So not every class, but about 2/3 of the classes in the program have a clinical component where they're learning that information in the class. And then they get the experiential learning by going out and getting their clinical hours. And those clinical hours are required by the State Board of Nursing in order to be able to take the licensing exam. And so each institution or each program has the ability to kind of figure out how they're going to apply those clinical hours. The other thing that we have at CSU Pueblo as part of those clinical hours is simulation. And we have the biggest, highest state-of-the-art simulation lab in the state. We actually had the governor here this summer coming to tour, and his cabinet. We had probably 15 dignitaries from the upper government level here to see our simulation lab. We have both low and high fidelity mannequins, which they talk, they can be shocked, their eyes track you. You can put an IV in them. There's a lot of wonderful things. So to prepare our students for going out and taking care of live patients, they get to first practice in a simulation lab with mannequins.
Oh, yeah, that's neat.
Gain that confidence.
So it's not like a CPR mannequin. It's more than that, and it gives the student feedback. Is that right?
So you always have a content expert. So that's somebody that's prepared to be an expert in whatever that scenario would be.
Okay.
And they're guiding the students, but the students are running the entire scenario as if they were the nursing team.
Oh my
There's
God.
as the charge nurse, the primary nurse, some of them get to be the patient, some of them get to be a family member. And they They run through that scenario, and then there's a debriefing process where we talk about what things went really well and what else we could learn
That's
from that.
wonderful. That's wonderful. Can you go back again and say, because you made this comment about this large simulation lab, a sim lab, is that what you call it, or simulation?
We call it SimLab.
Sim lab.
One.
And that's okay to hear on the campus, is that right?
It's located right here in the nursing building.
Oh,
Yes,
cool.
and always open for tours if people want to see it, because it's something to see. It looks like a hospital wing.
Oh, wow, that is neat. So students will actually practice in there. They'll have classroom, and then they come down there to the sim lab, they'll practice in there, and they're also going out into the lab, I'm sorry, the community, and working in another hospital or medical setting and bringing it all back. And this is what they do for 4 years?
They do, so 2.5 years in the traditional program, or what we call the basic program. Our
Okay.
students come in second semester of their sophomore year. So those first 3 semesters are really focused on getting those prerequisite requirements that you have to come into nursing. And that is a very prescribed list of courses.
Okay.
So we have a few different ways that people can come in. That's the basic program. We also have what's called a sophomore to senior program. Our pre-nursing advisor, Peggy Foley, goes out into the schools. She gives them the information. Our surrounding schools know about the sophomore or senior to sophomore program. So those students start in high school, building towards getting into the nursing program at CSU Pueblo. And there are certain criteria they have to meet. They have to maintain a 3.0 GPA, which, by the way, is also what's required in nursing. There are not C's in nursing. You have to get 80% or a B.
Right.
On everything to pass forward. So those students are able to come directly from high school, having a direct path into the nursing program, where again, they would start second semester of their sophomore year. The difference is they do not have to compete for their spot. As long as they've met that criteria, they're automatically in. And then our third option we have is what's called an accelerated program. The accelerated program are people that already have a degree in something else. And maybe they haven't found a job, or they're wanting to change careers. They can come in and complete the entire nursing program in 14 months.
Whoa.
So they do still have to get their prerequisites, but what they don't have to do is all the general education requirements, because those have already been fulfilled with their bachelor's degree.
That's awesome. Those are 3 really good pathways to come into the program.
Mhm.
Do you see, in your experience, are you seeing those are balanced, or is one got more population than the other?
Recently I would say we're seeing more accelerated students. So those are the students that already have a degree. And, especially during COVID, a lot of people lost their employment, or lost their spouse's employment, and they just needed a different career path that offers, good money and flexibility. So we saw people coming back in second career, kind of after COVID.
That whole COVID thing really affected so many things, but it's really good to hear that if anybody wants to take a different path, that this is a good opportunity, a fairly quick way to go down and get into a great field. The health industry is nothing but booming. So
Right.
what a great opportunity that is. Thank you for telling me those things. If students do come into your programs and they learn many of those things, could you take a minute or two and talk about what the job opportunities, we're transitioning to that, would be for those students? Do they get to specialize immediately? Where can they go once they graduate?
So that is an opportunity because of the shortage right now. They are taking brand new graduates into those specialized fields. So things like labor and delivery, ICU, ER, Children's Hospital, those were programs that usually did not take people straight out of school. But now they are, and what they're doing is providing a more in-depth orientation, because they know that there's people coming fresh out. But really the sky's the limit. With a nursing degree, in my opinion, it's the most flexible degree there is. We train people to be a generalist in hospital care, but experiencing all those different, areas while you're going through school. Does not mean somebody has to work in a hospital. They can work from home. They could be on a phone triage. They can work in the home where they're doing home health visits. They can teach, like I'm teaching. They can go in all different areas, outpatient OR settings. We have estheticians. We have students that become RN estheticians where they're, doing Botox and lip fillers and those types of professions. And then, of course, going to graduate school. We also have an amazing graduate program here, both master's level and doctorate level. Our master's program, we have both acute care and family nurse practitioners. We have nurse educators who are going through masters, and we have nurse management leaders. So that, and then also our DNP or doctorate program.
Mhm.
So we have students that streamline straight through the undergraduate into the graduate program.
Wow. And so they come out of here after spending a little bit of time, but then they're really facing really pretty good opportunities for jobs out
You
there.
bet. Yeah.
That is
Yeah.
so
And I can say, with confidence, we just graduated in August. There were roughly 42 students from our accelerated course, and 100% of them had a job before they left.
ah. Oh, that's
And
great.
it's pretty rare.
What a great story that is. I was going to say, with all this clinical time, there's a lot of organizations that may be getting to look at potential team players once they graduate. So that works in that favor as well. Not only is the student getting the participant getting the training, the education, but the potential future hiring manager is getting a good look at them.
Absolutely. And we tell the students every clinical day is a potential interview.
Yeah.
So to act accordingly. And I can also say, we hear even from the facilities that are not just in Pueblo, but in Colorado Springs and Canyon City, that they prefer our graduates.
Mm,
I've
that's a good
never
story.
I've never told somebody I teach for CSU Pueblo nursing and had them say, "Oh, we know your nurses. We've met your nurses, and they're kind of average." That never happens. That never happens. All I ever hear is, "Oh, you guys put out outstanding nurses," and
Cool.
we do. We
Very
put
cool.
out excellent nurses.
Yeah, well, that comes with what the earlier comment where we were talking about what the school does, and it turns out excellent nurses. And here you're hearing it reinforced back from the community out there, the industry of health, saying that,
You
what a great thing to say. If I was a student coming into I wanted to take the degree, I want to spend as much time as I can here, not through high school. I don't want to come accelerated. What kind of qualifications would I need in order to be coming into your program?
So the qualifications are getting all those prerequisite courses
Rex?
finished.
Okay.
We only allow one repeat of a prerequisite course to get at least a C or better.
Okay.
So anybody that's looking to come into nursing and taking those courses, that there's a high standard in the nursing program, and we start that high standard with making sure those prerequisite courses are laying a really good foundation for the knowledge. They do have to have a 3.0 GPA to come into the program and to stay in the program. So really just kind of telling yourself that you're going to always shoot for a B. It's okay to get some C's in prerequisite courses, but not when you get into the nursing program. So really, holding yourself to that level of accountability right away is good.
Mhm.
And then just staying on track. And the best way to do that is to connect with our pre-nursing advisor. And again, that's Peggy Foley. And she looks at, what courses the students already taken and what they still need. And then we also have great advisors in the PAC Center here at CSU Pueblo for students who are taking their courses here to make sure they're on the right path to entering at the right time.
Excellent. Super, super, super information now. Hey, do you have a favorite story of an experience you've had here in the nursing program or with a student that you'd be open to sharing?
Oh, wow. I have a lot of great stories. I would say one of our proudest moments, we had a student who graduated here, and she was not your very top, student in the classroom, but she was outstanding in the clinical setting. And she applied for a very coveted spot in a nursing residency at the Mayo Clinic. And it was when residency programs were not really nationwide. There was one at Vanderbilt, there was one at Mayo, and she got one of those spots coming from, Pueblo, Colorado. And that was pretty amazing. My son broke his arm a few years ago, and I went into the emergency room with him, and one of our graduate nurses took care of him.
Oh, how
So
cool.
you know, it's amazing to see it come full circle and to go out and really experience firsthand her confidence, because she could have been really intimidated coming in to see me, but no, she said, I just knew I was going to show my stuff. She was confident and she nailed it, did an excellent job. The third thing I would say is we recruit a lot of our graduates to come back and teach for us. So in the, you know, when they're in the clinical setting, they have a clinical instructor with them. And quite often that's going to be one of our alumni. So not only are they excellent because they worked hard to get to be excellent, but they firsthand know exactly what our students are going through and how to help them. So we really try to bring that in. And when I see them come through and shine, it's just, it makes this whole job worth it.
Yeah, kind of doing the same thing you're doing. You've been here, you've seen it, and you're helping out still. Hey, I don't know if you heard it, but our timer went off, so we're at the end of our podcast. But I do want to give you a chance. If somebody were to be interested and they want to reach out, get for more information, Lisa, what would you advise them be the best way for them to contact you or an advisor? What should they do?
So on our nursing website, the CSU Pueblo website, if you just search, you know, the little microscope or the magnifying glass in the top and put in nursing, you'll get our homepage.
Okay.
And that tells you all of the options. And one option I didn't mention, we do have an RN to BSN option. So that would be any nurses who are out there who have an associate's degree, but would like to get their bachelor's degree. We have a program that's 100% online to get your bachelor's degree, and it's very flexible. So you will see all those program options, whether it's basic, accelerated, RN to BSN, or graduate, right there on that page. It will point you to the right person. For undergraduate, it would be Peggy Foley for pre-nursing advising.
Excellent. Excellent. Thank you very much. And I just want to add there, if anybody does come to the CSU Pueblo websites, they have this really good feature now called a live chat. And you answer a couple of questions, and then you'll be talking to Ethan or somebody who's in that office, and it'll get you directed too. So feel free to reach out, check the website, and there's always that help.
Sure.
Lisa, super job. Thank you for joining us today. Everybody, we've reached the end of our podcast, and a lot of gratitude to Dr. Lisa Parsons for coming and being on board with us and talking about nursing. I mean, some fantastic information there about our programs, about the students and who comes here, and about the excellence that you see there. At Extended Studies, we do believe that everybody should be able to attend a program such as that. Something that's very interesting to people is what's not just best for me, but what's the best way for me to do that. So you've heard about lots of different opportunities and options here. Our programs here at Extended Studies include online studies, and they offer a comprehensive way to do these things in a very good way that's flexible, affordable, and allows you to persist and be successful. Please consider CSU Pueblo. Consider the nursing programs, extended study programs. If you have a need for more information, you can reach out to us. We're at csupueblo.edu/online, or you can also reach us at area code 719-549-2100. This has been a pleasure, Lisa. Thank you again for joining us. Everybody out there, it's a busy time for our spring, but there's always the next term coming up. Look forward to talking to you. Everybody be safe, be warm, and we'll see you around the corner. Thank you.
Thank you.